What is up, my people? How are we doing today? I am going to be driving. Some people like that. Some people like it. Some people don't like it. You guys let me know. I hear it's a vibe, though. You know, some people like to hear, like, I don't know, people driving or something. I don't know. There's just weird people out there. But if that's you, guys, I'm here for you. And that's what I'm going to do today. We're going to talk boxing. We're going to be focusing on boxing today. I am going to make another one about fighting games. Because fighting games been... and not just fighting games, just the video game industry is going through some stuff right now. And I wanted to talk about that. Even though fighting games are doing pretty good, everything else seems to be not doing so well. But we'll talk about that another day. Today I want to talk about the upcoming fight between Canelo and Berlanga. That's going to be good. And all the undercard fights that we got. But before we get to that, let's talk a little Turkey Alex Sheik. You know, what's going on with him. So good news from him is that he's trying to make, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last fight, but he's trying to make fights cheaper. But not only that, the fight between Bevo and Beterbiev, he wants to make that free. And I think he is going to make it free, right? So that's good. I mean, more free fights is going to get more people involved, and the more people are involved, the more they'll pay for the pay-per-views. And that's how it used to be back in the day. You know, back in the day there was a lot of free fights. And free fights gets you more fans. Okay, and that's in any business that you do. Giving away free stuff gets you more people buying your stuff. Okay, that's why boxing used to be number one here, the number one sport for a while here in the U.S. because we used to get a lot of free fights, a lot of them. And it was like common to see, you know, big fights for free. You know, and pay-per-view was reserved for the biggest of the biggest fights. And so it wasn't so hard to pay for that, because we were like, all right, it's going to be worth it because we've seen these guys grow in the sport. And now that this is the big fight, you know, of course we're going to want to pay for it. And that's how you build an audience, by giving away free stuff. But unfortunately here in the U.S., they don't believe in free stuff anymore. And that it's the thing. It used to be in everything. It wasn't just boxing. It was in a lot of, like, for example, you get like a cereal box. I don't know if they still do that. You would get like cereal, and there was like a little toy in there, like a little toy. And they used to be really nice toys. Of course, as time went on, they started to get cheaper and lamer. But the point is, they will give you a free toy in the box that will promote, you know, whatever they were trying to promote. Sometimes it would be like Batman. The new Batman movie was coming out, so they would make a special. They'll make a special toy, and not just a toy, but the box, you know, was promoting Batman because there's going to be a new Batman movie. And so you get the free toy, and then you tell your parents, I gotta go watch Batman. You're gonna take me to watch the movie Batman. So It's promoting the show, or promoting the movie while giving you free stuff. So, and you know, like I said, I don't know if they still do that, because I don't be. Which would be fun to see if they still do that though, and go in and look for a cereal box. But that's what they used to do, and it was in everything. It was in chips, potato chips. In Mexico, especially, you would go buy potato chips, and there was like a toy inside. You know, and those were just free. I don't even know if they were promoting anything. You know, stuff like that, like stuff like that was very common back in the day, to just get free stuff. There was free comic book day. You would go, and they would have these comic books, and the comic books were really just promoting the whole series. They would give you a issue 0 or something, and the issue 0 was just preparing you for what the story was going to be about, which is pretty much like a first, like a first spread of a manga, you know, to promote your manga or whatever, which is, you know, like I said, it's more free stuff that promotes a product that you're going to put out. And Turkey knows this. I think he's one of the few that knows it here in the U.S. now. And you start to think about that. You start to think about it in different ways. Like, a lot of things, like, for example, in cell phones that we pay for now in apps, used to be free. Like, I used to have, and I still have that phone. It's a Note 9, I believe. A Note 9. And that was one of my best phones because it had everything on it. And it had a feature on the phone where you could speak out, you know, a sentence, say something, and the phone would write it down for you, grammar and everything. Right? I promise you that my phone had that. I promise you. Well, you fast forward, you know, a couple of years later, about 10 years later, around there. I'm not sure. Maybe I may be exaggerating. It's probably less than that. Probably like 4 or 5 years. And now you have to pay for it. It's called Grammarly. And so, yeah, but it used to do all of that for you. Sorry, RoboCop out here is talking. There's this, I guess like a robot camera at my 7-Eleven, and every time you're about to leave, every time you're leaving, it speaks in like a robotic voice. We are recording you for your own safety. Please come again, or some shit like that. And it just sometimes it scares me because it just out of nowhere just starts talking. But anyways, guys, yeah, a lot of this stuff used to be free, and now they just don't have it. It used to be standard, some of the stuff, you know, and now they don't have it for free. Now you got to buy an app, or you got to, you know, get a certain plan or whatever. Or they do it, but they do it half-assed. Because, for example, my phone does you know, record my voice and then put the text out. But then I have to go back and correct the grammar, because the grammar just sometimes is off. They don't really do grammar. But what I'm saying is, back in the day, or not back in the day, about 4 years ago, my old phone, my Samsung phone, used to do it for free and way better than I could do it, and faster than I could do it. So it just goes to show you, like, they could do better. They can do better. They just want you to pay for it. They want you to pay for everything now. That's what I'm talking about when I say hyper capitalist society. That's what we're in right now. And a lot of people get mad, especially if they're extreme right wingers or they're like super conservative. Those type of people, they can't say anything about capitalism, because they feel like if you say anything against capitalism, that automatically makes you a socialist or a communist or whatever, right? And the thing is that there is socialist programs and I'm sorry to get political, but Turkey Al-Sheikh is one of those figures that does certain things that you start to question, like Mr. Beast, for example. Right? Mr. Beast is a guy who pays for people's surgeries and stuff like that because he's a rich guy or whatever. And he brings up those type of questions because he has that type of money. And it's the same thing with Turkey Al-Sheikh. He brings up these types of issues, and part of it is the hyper-capitalist society that we live in. And I brought it up in a conversation I was having on, I forgot what website it was, but they were talking about the boxers and that they want to get paid too much. So they're blaming the boxers, and they're telling them that they're the ones that are asking for too much money and they're overpricing themselves. But the reason they're overpricing themselves is because the whole system is broken. The whole system of the mentality of how you grow in the business is broken. And that's why these kids overprice themselves and overvalue themselves. It's because that's the mentality that this society brings forth. Like in a hyper-capitalist society, the main thing is not the product or the relationship between you and your buyers, the people that are fans of your work. It's the main goal is to do less, and that means expending less. That means money, time, effort, all of it, and gain the maximum amount of money. That is the goal in a hyper-capitalized society. Okay, that's why when you look at Nike and the way they make shoes, it doesn't cost them, maybe like $1 or something like that to make these shoes, because they're making them abroad and they're making them out of child labor, right? And they're not really doing anything for those shoes, but they're charging you like $200, $250, $300. If they're a rare shoe, they can charge you way more for that. You start looking at stuff like this, and that doesn't bother you a little bit. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. That's the kind of stuff that's hurting a lot of industries, not just boxing. Right? So that same mentality is what these boxers are doing. They're just saying, okay, I want to do less for more. I want to fight once a year. I want to get everything that I want. I want it to be easy. And I want to gain the most amount of money and the most amount of fame for it. And that's basically what's killing boxing, what's killing video games, by the way, which I'm going to talk in another video. That's what it is. But anyways, I'm glad Turkey Al-Sheikh is putting up some free fights again, showing us how to do business. You got to build a relationship between you and the consumer. You have to build a relationship. But the thing is, Americans forgot how to do that, bro. We got too deep into making that needle move up and down to where we forgot that there's a person, you know, there's a person behind that needle. There's families behind that needle. There's people that sometimes can't even afford the crap you're giving them. And you say with a smile on your face, like these people got the money, bro. You know what I mean? Like, have some compassion for your own people. Even Canelo, bro. Canelo went to Mexico and said, like, yo, we're going to give you these fights for free. But you don't see no Americans doing that for no Americans. Nah, they want to charge you up the ass, bro. And if you say anything about it, you're a socialist. You're a communist. You're, you know, whatever. A Democrat. You know what I mean? It's crazy out here, man. It's freaking crazy. But, and that's what I said in the conversation. And like I said, the classic shit everybody else says. They started calling me a communist. They started calling me a socialist. They said there's nothing wrong with capitalism. Capitalism is the best. And I'm like, okay, whatever. You know, the shit coming out of their mouth is the same basic shit they tell you to say in school. Right? I'm a grown-ass man, and I'm looking, and I'm seeing patterns, and I'm like, yeah, something ain't right here. The math ain't mathing. The capitalism capping. That's bars. But moving on, guys. Bad news for Turkey, though. Shakur Stevenson is injured. You know, he has an injury in his right hand, which is crazy because I've been knowing that. They fixed the road. I'm over here dodging shit that they fixed already. Cause there used to be a big pothole and I dodged it, but they fix it, so it's like I'm looking stupid over here. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, I don't even know. Oh yeah, Shakur Stevenson. I've been knowing his hands were fucked up. And that's part of the reason why he doesn't punch a lot. And it's part of the reason why he's the way he is. I think I mentioned it in one of my videos. It's hard for a guy with tender hands like that to go all out. They just can't do it. Their hands, they can't take it. And part of it is because they can't punch. I've been saying that, bro. Like, fighters forgot how to punch. They're not punching correctly, you know. And it's not just them. It's not just the fact that they're not teaching them how to punch correctly. You know, it's the fact that the gloves are just made for you to injure your hands. The main thing that the glove is made for is for you to maximize your power and do it repetitively, you know. And yeah, it protects your hand, but in the long run, it makes your hand weaker. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I want you to grab your hand, or look at your hand right now, and I want you to grip. Make a fist, make a proper fist. I know you know how to do it because they teach you. Everywhere on YouTube, they teach how to do that. But just make a proper fist and just squeeze it as hard as you can. And what you're going to notice is that the muscles in your forearms are going to flex. And they're going to get, you know, big and hard, pause. And that's what the gripping motion causes to your muscles. It's a workout for your muscles. In fact, there's crutches. You guys know the crunches? Not crutches, the crunches. There's this little, it's kind of like a stress ball, and you use it to squeeze it, right? And that works on your forearms. You know, I don't know what you call that little contraption, but also guitarists. You know, guitarists have really strong grips. and really strong wrists. Why? Because they're constantly making different um, movements with their fingers. So what I'm trying to say is this: when you stick your hand into a glove and you wrap it like a burrito, you're making those muscles lazy. By the way, I parked and I opened up a energy drink. Anyways, when you wrap your hand up like a burrito and you stick it in the glove, what's happening is you're making your fist and your muscles, your forearm muscles, you're making them lazy. And by making them lazier, you're making your bone more prone to injury. Okay, you're making it more prone to injury. And what happens a lot of times is these fighters do that for a long time and they forget to work out their forearms and work out the way to punch, to practice punching without gloves. Okay, now a lot of martial artists say, "Oh, don't punch without gloves. Wrap your hand up. Take care of your hands." This is true for somebody who's been doing it for so long that they forgot how to punch without gloves. Okay, but if you're just starting your career, try to every once in a while, hit without the gloves, because it's gonna make your fist stronger and less prone to injury. Right now, what Shakur Stevenson can't go back no more. He's fucked. Okay, he's been wrapping his hands this way for a really long time. You gotta train your body to learn how to punch with and without gloves. And with gloves is also important too. Like, for example, the guy who fought Jake Paul in the last fight. Is it Jake Paul or Logan Paul? One of those guys. He used to be a bare knuckle fighter. I'll turn off my car real quick. He used to be a bare knuckle fighter, and that's a totally different, way of boxing. You don't have your hand inside a glove. So when he got in there to try to fight Jake Paul, he realized that it's a whole different ball game. So both of them are important in my opinion. And it takes some time to get used to, but in my opinion, you need to punch early on. If you're starting boxing right now, every once in a while, you always see, like, the old time boxers, they always use like these small bag gloves, right? And the reason they're using those small bag gloves is because they don't protect you as much, and you could grip. You could do a classic fist, bare knuckle fist with that glove. It allows you to do that, and it trains your hand to take that. But anyways, that's some bad luck for Shakur, and that's some bad luck for Turkey. From what I hear is Shakur Stevenson is going to skip the fight, this fight that he was going to have with, I forget his name, but he's going to go straight to Cepeda when he comes back. So, I mean, listen, I'm not a big fan of Shakur Stevenson. You guys probably already know if you follow my videos. But I don't know. I get it. That's all I'm going to say. I get it. And I don't know. I don't know what to think. Because in a way it's like good, but in another way it's like, man, dude, that's that guy's career. And I hate to, because I know I said a lot of mean things, but this is not what's up, bro. This is not good, I guess. Listen, a warrior always wants another warrior to go out like a warrior. Okay, and the best way for him to have gone out was getting knocked out by Tank Davis, right? That's what I wanted. Right, because even though Shakur Stevenson sometimes doesn't act like a warrior, he definitely is. He's just a different type of warrior. And so, in my mind, it was the best way for him to go out is by getting his ass KO'd by Tank Davis. And I'm not saying that this is the end for him, but it's bad, dude. It's bad. And not everybody has um, the temperament or the skill or the mentality um, to do what Mayweather did. And the other thing is, people are not gonna want to see that again. It's like we had one Mayweather, we don't need another one. You know what I mean? That type of shit. But moving on here, guys. So Rayo Valenzuela is gonna be the next fight for Tank Davis. Speaking of Tank Davis, he finally made up his mind. Now that's probably the best option for him, for Tank Davis, because before he was talking about Loma, and me and a lot of people were thinking that Loma was too old. Loma was thinking that Loma was too old. Loma didn't even want to fight. So and nobody got mad at Lomachenko because, like I said, that fight should have been made a long time ago, and it wasn't made. And now that he's older, they want to make it. So it's like, yeah, we get it. We know that, we get it if you don't want to fight. It's like what, like 3 years too late, bro. And we've seen it before. We don't want to see it again. We saw it with Pacquiao versus Mayweather. It's like, we're just not gonna take it anymore. We're not gonna take it. But yeah, this is the best choice. The other choice that Tank Davis was talking about, or people around him were talking about, was him versus Pacquiao. And I was like, come on, dude. Like, you're just looking for old people now. Like, now you're just you just AARP out here, bro. Like, you just out here looking for old people, bro. But yeah. Tank is COVID, bro. Remember how many old people COVID killed, bro? That shit was crazy, dude. I had a neighbor who's not really my neighbor, but he's like a couple of blocks away from where I live. Well, not even just one block. But anyways, yeah, his whole family died, which is crazy, dude. Like, cause he had a bunch of old family members, and but him and his wife and his son are fine. It's just like his dad and his mom and his uncles died. I was like, damn, how old were they? They were pretty old. But yeah, he killed a lot of old people for some reason. But anyways, but yeah, I think this is the best choice for Tank. I'm not gonna say that there wasn't better options, but to be honest, this is a good choice. I think Rayo has a good chance. I still think Tank's gonna win. Rayo coming back from his win against Pitbull Cruz, which I thought was gonna be a close fight. I thought Rayo had a chance. A lot of people, they put too much hype behind Pitbull. I don't really think Pitbull was all that. I think he just got famous for surviving against Tank. He survived against Tank, and people just thought that he was some kind of special dude or whatever. But it's just styles make fights, and Pitbull's style gives Tank Davis problems. And that's just what it's gonna be. But he's not gonna give a guy like Rayo problems, because Rayo knows how to move around the ring. And also Pitbull, he's just not that good. Pitbull, he's really married to that peekaboo style. He's really married to that peekaboo style, and he thinks that that's the way to do it. But the thing is, in my personal opinion, you're not supposed to marry yourself to any particular style, because you got to understand that you're an individual, and there's going to be things that are going to be made for you and things that are not going to be made for you. You got to tweak it a little bit in order for it to fit you appropriately. Um, and that's the same thing that's happening with like the whole Mayweather effect. It's like everybody seems to be wanting to be exactly like uh, the legend of Floyd Mayweather. But that's the thing. It's like you're not him. You're nothing like him. You know, you're probably not even black. You're probably like like a white guy, or like Ryan Garcia is Mexican, right? So, um, uh, so it's like, bro, like there's things that you're just not gonna do. There's things that's not even made for you. You know, because you're taller, maybe you're shorter than Mayweather, maybe you have a shorter reach than him. Um, you know what I mean? So it's like some techniques are made for certain types of fighters. You know, so you got to just realize that and not try to be like somebody you're not. Plain and simple. Um, but you know, Pitbull, he really liked Mike Tyson growing up, and he decided that was going to be his style. He probably saw Ippo no Yaiba, who, by the way, people say I fight like Ryo Mishima, I think is his name, which is cool, I guess. But people are thinking that I copied him, and that style of fighting has been around since the '80s, and even before that, Bruce Lee was doing that shit. That flick jab, he was doing that flick jab in all his movies. I got it from Bruce Lee. And little did I know, Bruce Lee got it from Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali, you know, got it from Sugar Ray Robinson, and I mean it's old, bro. It's an old technique. Anime didn't invent the flick jab, and you people are annoying for thinking that. But at the same time, I'm happy because that's one of my more popular videos. But also, it's like kind of annoying because it's like Ryo Mishima did not invent the flick jab. Okay, and in that anime, you know, which I discovered because of the comments that were being left in my video, um, you know, he's copying Hearns, Tommy Hearns. So he's supposed to be the Tommy Hearns of the TV show, and the TV show does a good job of interesting people um, in boxing, but at the same time, it's just an anime, so you guys got to remember that. So a lot of the things in there are exaggerated for a lot of the things in there are exaggerated for the anime, and you guys got to keep that into consideration as well. Like for example, the peekaboo is not exactly like they're saying it there, you know. But anyways, Pitbull was a fan of that TV show and of Mike Tyson. Um, and but yeah, he was too basic for Ryo, you know. And but I still think Tank beats Ryo. I don't know if it's gonna be easy or not, but he beats him. But we'll see what happens after that. I'm probably taking too long on these, so let's move on here. Speaking of another fighter that got famous for surviving another fighter, um, Lara is gonna fight Danny Garcia, who got famous for being pretty much being Puerto Rican. Um, nah, but here, let's be honest. Lara got famous for surviving Canelo Alvarez. That's it. That's all he did. He didn't win the fight. He just survived, and that was enough for a lot of dumbass motherfuckers to say that he won the fight. And not only that, that was enough to make him relevant, quote unquote relevant, because he's not really that relevant at all. For about what 5 years now, that he's been living out off of supposedly beating Canelo Alvarez by running for 12 rounds. This is your hero. This is your guy. Yeah, damn, bro. Y'all need to do better than that, bro. But that's what he's famous for. That's what a lot of fighters are famous for. That's why when I spot him, I immediately call him out. Pitbull's one of them. Lada's another one. Pernell Whitaker. Shout out Pernell Whitaker. R.I.P. I'm sorry, dude. I gotta say what was on my mind. What do you want me to do? But I mean, this is your heroes. This is your type of guys that you like, the guys that survive. But here's the thing: in this fight, he's gonna win. Lada's gonna win. Because Danny Garcia's just been out of the game for too long. I don't even know what Danny Garcia is doing here, to be honest with you. I don't know why he came back. I think he should go, like, I don't know, record salsa music or something. I don't know. You know, he shouldn't be here. Like, he should not be here. There's no reason for him to be here. How long has it been since he's fought? Like, for real, for like 3 years, 2 years? Probably more than that. Dude, it's crazy to see this guy here boxing right now. You know what I mean? Like, what's happening, dude? What's happening with boxing? That we're getting these fighters coming back out of retirement. You know, Tank is trying to fight Pacquiao. He's fucking crazy, dude. Pacquiao's not ready, dude. Getting back to that for a little bit. Did you see Pacquiao's exhibition fight against that one Japanese guy? You know, the dude, like, fighters, let me tell you something about fighters, bro. Fighters get into this mode where punches don't affect us that much. Your regular, and I'm not even saying I'm a boxer, but I'm saying your regular guy off of the street punches a guy like a boxer or even an MMA guy, mainly a boxer, you're not really gonna feel anything because they train in a manner that they almost shrug that shit off like nothing. Oh yeah, whatever. You know, kind of like Rocky. I ain't no belt. You know, bro, your face is fucked up. I ain't no belt. So it's like when you see a boxer react to a punch, that means he's in trouble, right? Well, Pacquiao was reacting to every punch he was getting hit with, but he wasn't reacting like, "Oh, I'm going down." He was reacting like, "Ouch," like, "Ooh," like, "Ow," like that type of shit, like a regular human, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. Like he was acting like a regular person. When a regular person gets hit in the face, they're like, "Oh," you know, they kind of get mad a little bit, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you back," or if not, they go like, oh, they check for blood or something. You know, that's regular human shit. That's what Pacquiao was doing. Dude, Pacquiao's not ready for no damn fight, bro. But yeah, Lada's winning that one. Moving on to this one, Manuel Jimenez. Jaimes versus Rolly Romero. I don't know who Manuel Jaimes is. I never seen him before in my life. I tried looking for videos of him, highlights of him, just to be prepared for, you know, trying to predict this fight. But I could not find anything on him. In fact, I actually ran into my own video, which is crazy. If you look for another boxer and you run into your own video, it means you're more popular. You're more popular than him, which is crazy, dude. It's crazy that Rolly Romero is gonna fight a guy who you can't even find him, dude. You can't even find him anywhere. He's for sure he's on BoxRec, well, on the bottom there it says BoxRec. So yeah, so he's on there. But I just couldn't find no highlights. Rolly Romero, though, we know who he is. Um, and he's pretty much like a gatekeeper, right? He's like a gatekeeper. Um, so this could be one of those things where Jaime is just being tested or being brought to the game, or it could be a fight that's gonna keep Rolly Romero relevant, you know, for a future face-off against somebody. You know, who knows? Um, I don't know what to expect from this fight. I don't know the other guy, so I can't really say. So what I do know is I know Rolly, so I'm gonna go with Rolly with this one. I have no idea. Um, Plant versus McCracken, I think something like that. Something, Muscles, McCracken, McChicken, McNuggets. He's probably Irish. So and he's gonna fight Plant. You know, Caleb Plant. He's only lost to Canelo and Benavidez, which is not bad. Canelo is a beast. Benavidez is a monster, Mexican monster. And so it's no shame, right? It's just him losing to two great fighters. But this guy, by the way, this guy is so basic. Like he has the mega hat, he has the mullet, the mustache, and he even has those shades. Everybody has this look now, and they think they're special. They think they're different. It's like, bro, like there's like 50 of you online. There's like 50 streamers with the same fucking look. It's like, bro, like come on, dude. Like podcasts and everybody has this look now, and they think they're like, I'm going against the grain, bro. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You're a zombie. When I saw him, I thought, man, is Dr. Disrespect boxing now? I didn't even know Dr. Disrespect was like that. But I mean, I think he was probably the first to put that look out, and then everybody else started doing it. And that's the main reason I don't get a mullet anymore, because it's like, dude, what everybody, and my shit wasn't like that. My shit was like Colombian style. And I did it more. It was more of a soccer thing than a. Well, I don't know what this is. I don't know what to call this look here, but I think Caleb is gonna win. I really don't know the other guy for real. I don't know who he is. Like I said, I thought he was a streamer. When I saw him, I was like, "What's this guy doing here?" But by the way, did you guys see that lady that put the tattooed Trump's name in her forehead? Bro, the level of idol worshiping here in the United States is crazy, bro. Like, what did tattooing your face is kind of crazy. Okay, first of all, right? But back in the day when you tattooed your face, okay, that meant you were some type of gangster and you killed somebody. The teardrop was actually, it used to symbolize that you killed somebody and you was crying for it. It's kind of like a joke that you killed somebody. If you had a cross and it had little lines, the little lines, they used to mean how many people you've killed. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, but now it's like everybody, you know, like has tattoos in their faces. And but this lady, bro, I know you've seen her. She's all over the web. She tattooed Trump's name to her face. And the level of idol worshiping, especially, and the reason I say idol worshiping is because here in the U.S., bro, we have a lot of peasant-like mentality. Um, and I don't want to get political, but it's especially it's particularly in the right. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. But a lot of those people, have these idols that they have in their mind, and they look up to these guys and they defend them, they simp for them, they stand for them. You can't say nothing about them because they get crazy and they start attacking you. But anyways, I was just thinking about that because I saw his MAGA hat, and I remembered a whole bunch of other crazy MAGA people, like the Trump lady with the forehead. Then there's this other guy that has N words for Trump, and he's a black guy, right? And he started it, by the way. But now there's white people with those shirts. And it's like, bro, you did it, bro. You did it to yourself. What do you want me to do? But that's the type of when people degrade themselves to exalt another human, that is a level of cult mentality that is just crazy. And I don't see it anywhere else, but in that particular side of politics for some reason. It's crazy. And there's plenty of examples, and it's not just for Trump. It's for other rich people. Just rich people in general. They should get statues made or something because it's crazy. But anyways, I know that probably got some of you mad, but let's move on here. Canelo versus Berlanga. And I'm going to just help Berlanga because, listen, everybody's saying that Canelo's going to win, which I agree with. Canelo is going to win. But let's try to see what Berlanga could do to win this fight. Okay, and the first thing I would recommend for Berlanga to do is to just come out and just start punching. 1-2s down the middle. 1-2s, 1-2s, 1-2s. Don't even worry about no hooks. Don't worry about none of that. Just 1-2s down the middle. Bop, 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 bop. Pendulum step. Bop, 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 bop. Pendulum step. Bop, bop. Just keep doing that. That shit that Berlanga's talking about IQ and outsmarting Canelo, that's not going to work, bro. Everybody thinks they're smarter than Canelo because he's Mexican. And for some reason here in the United States, Mexicans are dumb and all they do is come forward and knock people out. Alright. That's fake, bro. He's been knocking people out that think they're slicker than him, that think they're smarter than him, that think they have more IQ than him. He's been knocking them out, bro. What does that mean? That means you're not going to beat him that way. Unless you're that way for real, like Mayweather. Don't try to outsmart Canelo, dude. Don't do that. That's gonna be your first mistake. Like that shit you talking about IQ? Like, bro, like no. And in fact, Puerto Rico ain't never been known for no IQ, bro. Puerto Rico got power. That's the main thing they got is power, speed, and just relentlessness. And I know they taught you differently. They said the Mexicans were that way, but for real, it's Puerto Ricans. For real, it's Puerto Ricans. Look at all your great fighters. Wilfredo Gomez, let's start with that guy. Knocking people out left and right, bro. All his fights ended in the first round or something like that? Until he faced a Mexican that had higher IQ than him? And Salvador Sanchez? So I don't know where y'all getting this shit where that says the Mexicans, they don't have no high IQ and they don't know how to box. They just come forward and swing. I don't know where y'all getting this, bro. It's the opposite. Your history was taught to you the opposite way, so you can feel better about yourself. And that's the truth. That is the God honest truth. Ladies, that is the God honest truth. Y'all remember? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Ladies, that is the God honest truth. Uh, that guy's funny. Um, but yeah, man, like this whole IQ thing, that's not gonna work. Berlanga needs to come out swinging. He needs to do pendulum steps and just do that until he gets knocked out. That's it. And hope to God that in between uh, rounds 1 through 4, he hits him with something good and then capitalizes on that. That's what he needs to do. That's my advice to Berlanga. Okay, and that's going to help him survive for a couple of rounds, but he's going to get knocked out anyways. That's all I got to say about that. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.